to love reading, gardening, hanging out with friends for lunch. Now you can't remember when was the last time you did any of those things. You are now the scheduler, the nurse, the chauffeur, the problem solver. Somewhere along the way, you have disappeared. If this sounds familiar, care partners, if you feel as though dementia caregiving has swallowed your identity, then today's video is for you. In today's video, we are going to discuss why that happens and 3 practical strategies that you can use right now to reclaim some of that lost identity back, as well as reclaim joy in the process. For those of you who are new here, my name is Dr. Sinclair. I'm a neuropsychologist, dementia care specialist, and founder of the Confident Caregiver Academy. Let's jump on in. Care partner, the way that I explain losing your identity to caregiving is I want for you to imagine that you're carrying a bucket of water. This water represents your energy, your patience, your joy. Caregiving over time starts to poke holes in the bottom of that bucket. Holes that you may not even notice at first are formed. If you're not patching those holes and refilling your bucket, it's going to run dry no matter how much you try to pour into others. There's a biological reason for this. Your mirror neurons allow you to feel someone else's experience as if it were your own. What do I mean by that? Well, we have these specialized cells in our brain called mirror neurons, and it mirrors what it's getting. So if you receive a warm, genuine smile from someone, you are likely going to return that genuine, warm smile. With caregiving, however, your mirror neurons are constantly firing, tracking distress, frustration, and sadness, because that's often what your loved one is experiencing. Over time, your own emotional baseline starts to shift to match the chronic stress state that you're already in. And here's the important part, care partners. Your brain and body can get conditioned to that chronic stress state such that you forget what calm and joy can actually feel like. So when you start the day exhausted and completely on empty, it's not because you're weak, it's because your brain and body has not had moments of joy and an opportunity to reset. Fortunately, there is a fix. You have to deliberately stimulate the brain's reward and novelty centers. That means small micro moments. We're talking only 3 minutes a day of joy or variety that you can give to yourself to remind the brain that there's more to life than just this chronic stress state. Here are some signs, care partners, that you are starting to lose yourself in caregiving. Can you answer what you do for fun without referencing caregiving? Have your relationships outside of caregiving gone completely quiet? Do you feel guilty thinking about doing something just for yourself? And tell me if this sounds familiar. Someone asks you how you've been, and all you can think to say is something about your loved one's care. It's so insidious how losing yourself happens. One of my clients, let's call her Maria, used to sing in the community choir, and as her husband's dementia progressed, she stopped going to rehearsals because it was just impossible to get to. Before long, she hadn't been to rehearsals in years, but what's even worse is when she realized that she hadn't even sung in years. She completely lost that part of herself to dementia caregiving, and it was so tiny, it creeped in so slowly. So I want to ask you today, care partner, can you think of something that's slowly slipping away from you with your dementia caregiving? Thing that used to make you feel like you. When was the last time you did it? Jot that down. It's important to understand why this happens. Many care partners erroneously believe that it's the time it takes in doing all the tasks of caregiving that lead to you losing your identity. That's only a tiny portion of the explanation. The larger part of the explanation is it's also the psychological and mental load of caregiving that withers your identity away. Even when you're not actively caregiving, your brain is still scanning for the next crisis, the next problem, the next issue. Think of it as having 2 buckets. One bucket is the task or time it takes for caregiving. The other bucket is worry. Even if your task bucket is not full, but the worry bucket is overflowing, you are going to feel a sense of loss of identity because your worry bucket is full. Your mental load, your mental capacity is all about caregiving, even if you aren't doing a caregiving task at that moment. So you're not just tired, you're mentally on call 24/7. It's a different kind of exhaustion. It's a different kind of sense of loss. Now that you understand why this happens, let's now talk about what you can do about it. I like to call this first one 5-minute joy refills. First, read 2 pages of a novel. Just 2 pages. If you were a reader and you haven't read in a long time, give yourself 2 pages to read. Second, step outside for sunlight. Sunlight works wonders on your mood. And often as a care partner, you're locked inside the house with your loved one with dementia. Step outside briefly for that sunlight. Third, listen to your favorite song and dance around the house as if you were having a dance party. One of my client, James, takes his coffee on his front porch every single morning for 4 minutes. He's timed it. He goes out there and he says, that is the one moment I'm not on call. I give myself that opportunity to sit down outside, look at the sun, look at the clouds, look at the people running by. It's my quiet moment. So care partners, if you can find something similar, just a few minutes that you can give to yourself, then please do. Notice how these joy refills are not vacations, right? But these are micro moments that you can give to yourself. Remember the why. These micro moments are important for your brain and body to not only get conditioned to the stress state. You want to remind yourself that there is still joy out there. And if you don't give yourself these micro moments, then it's easy to get conditioned into the negative. So let's go on to the next one that I call an anchor ritual. An anchor ritual, care partner, is something that you can do each day to sort of anchor the intention for your day. Keep at least one ritual that's yours. That can look like, if you're not able to go to the community choir rehearsal, sing your butt off at home. Because it slowly slips away, right? So finding rituals of things that you used to love to do and you're not doing them anymore. How can you start to bring them back into your home? And how do you adjust them to the life that you have now with your care partner? So if you're not able to leave, then what can you bring to you in the home? It won't be the same. It will remind you of who you are. Third is what I call emotion reset cues. I have my clients literally set timers on their Google devices or Apple devices that prompts them throughout the day. What have you done for yourself today? How are you feeling today, right? Oftentimes you guys don't get asked that. No one checks in on you. And so that's my way of checking in on my clients, and that's my way of now checking in on you. Set a reminder that goes off to prompt you to check in on yourself. And if you've noticed that you can't answer that question, what have you done for yourself today? Then I want for you to pause and do a joy reset. 2 pages of a novel, dancing your buns off, singing your favorite song, put on some 80s music, some 60s music, dance around the house, okay? Often when I teach my clients these restoration practices, I also have to teach boundary setting with them. And so I'm going to give this to you as well. Because Lord knows that your plate is already full, but you'd be surprised how much people are still going to ask of you. So here are a few things that you can say. I can help with this, but I can't take that on right now. Or maybe it's, I can't help with this. I really wish I could take this on right now. Second, you can say, I'm stepping out for an hour to recharge so I can be at my best when I get back. That's usually needed for your spouse. What not to say, care partners? Oh, I can't do this anymore. I really wish I could, but I just can't. No, say, I want to keep helping in a way that's sustainable for both of us. I'm just not sure how. Let's talk it through. Boundaries aren't walls, they are safety rails to keep you from going over the edge. Caregiving is already so demanding, you'll have to find your voice in saying, I can't do this, or I wish I could, but I can't, or we're going to have to find adjustments to this commitment that I've made because caregiving is now taking up so much of my time. We've discussed the daily practices that you can do to bring about joy. We've discussed what you can say to make sure you are guarding your time in order to do those tiny practices. And I also want to talk about how you can begin to rebuild your identity that you feel is slipping through your fingers. I alluded to it with the anchor ritual. I also like to refer to this as micro versions of the passions that you used to do. So one of my clients, Angela, started a 15-minute project list. And on that list is things that she used to enjoy doing, but she only does them now for 15 minutes a day. So she'll knit one day, she'll do a puzzle another day, she'll try to get a run in. Even if it's just running up and down the block, she tries to get her run in, her movement in. So what is an activity that you can bring back as part of your anchor ritual or as part of your micro sort of passion? If you can't do the full activity, that's fine, but doing part of it or doing it for a shorter period of time will bring joy. That is the goal here to reclaiming your identity, is having those micro moments of joy. This is my tiny way of reminding you, care partner, that you don't have to wait for caregiving to be over to live again. So here's a bit of homework that I want for you to do. It's your caregiver identity reset plan. Step 1, in your column 1, I want for you to have activities I've lost. In column 2, micro versions I can do now. Column 3, who can help me protect this time? And what are some of the things that I may need to say to protect my time? If you've been giving and feel as though you're running on fumes and that you've lost yourself, you now understand why, care partner, and you understand what you need to do. Go ahead and grab that reset template below and take a look at the next video, how to shift emotions. If you notice that you are so depleted that you're now very reactive, that next video is going to be helpful for you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.